Relax cue. Stage separation. Hello, and welcome to the first ever FSDC. Some elements of the stream have been cut due to time, but with that let us begin. Roll the intro. Hello, and welcome to the first Floppa Space in Development Conference. Well, ever. I am here to give the opening, but we will have 2 weeks of this. The first one is this one with Orange Cat Aerospace and the Floppa Space Administration. I will be speaking for the FSA, and we have Cat Kermit speaking for Orange Cat Aerospace. The next week of this will include the Floppa Interstellar Commission. There will be announcements of rockets, and some updates on FloppaSat as well as Fort. So we hope you have a good day, and with that let us begin. Hello everyone, so we have some updates on Fort, because we thought we should provide some info on why it has not launched in a long time. We are in the process of reworking its fuel and piping system, and a few more things. Of course we left off on IFT4, which went well. Of course IFT5 will be here within this month or really early next month, but we are actually on V5. This is our only Generation 5 vehicle left, but of course there will be a V6, but sadly not this year. There is no use for V6 right now, so development on it is paused. But here are the key features of Ford V6. We will add second stage reusability for faster turnaround times and full reusability. Ford already has the ability to be rapidly reusable, but we have to rebuild the second stage every time. Therefore on V6 we will just land it, then reintegrate it with the booster and launch it again. We will also try and add a reusable fairing, but don't quote me on that if we don't add it, as we only have one rocket that can do that, and that is FIR. But that brings me to the next talking point. FIR. Of course we had the goal of putting a Kerbal on Duna before the end of the year, and unfortunately we did not do that. But that does mean they will arrive more safely this year. On our next test flight we will be launching with a crew. It's confirmed for next flight, and that flight only so far. We will be launching it in 2 weeks. Of course there could be pushbacks due to the nature of it having crew on board. But the reusable fairing technology on FIR is actually something in active development, and soon we will publish a way to integrate a reusable fairing into your rockets if you have a space agency. But right now it is in testing because, as you have seen on multiple flights if you have watched a FSA FIR stream, it's currently unstable, so we will provide an update with you hopefully by the end of this year or the next FSDC. Alright, next we have Floppa reusable rocket V7. It recently launched last week on our first launch of 2026. It also debuted with our new program to control rockets. If you want more info, we will be posting a video on it soon in FSDC. Number 8. But of course, what about version 6? Well, we have some updates, but more so with our new engine, Discovery 1.0. Hold on, while I find another script about 1.0, I will be handing it over to Cat Aerospace for now. Hello, we are Cat Aerospace. You may have seen our rocket, the Orange One, launch last year at Floppa Spaceport, but we have a very exciting announcement at the end of the show. But first, however, we must address the fact we have not launched in a while. We have been reviewing the data from the previous flight and plan on launching the Orange One this year at least twice. But we have not been slacking. We have also been constructing a new spaceport. Of course, it is still needing some final touches added, so we can't show you guys yet, but it will be operational soon. Next, we also plan to talk about crew. Short answer is maybe. But with that in mind, Orange One would not be the rocket to launch crew due to its structure as a payload rocket. No, that would go to our next generation of rockets, which it's time. I give you the Orange 2. The Orange 2 will include going to 2.5 meters. Therefore, we can add a better control system, bigger engine, and have more fuel. The Orange 2 will also include a reusable first stage. Of course, from some help with the FSA's Discovery engine architecture, we have developed our own engine. Of course, it does not have a name yet, but we will take suggestions. But the Orange 2 will most likely not launch this year because we have no really good flight data from Orange 1. Of course, the picture on screen does not represent the final design. We will most likely unveil the engine and the Orange 2's final design at next year's FSDC. But this year, you will see a orange one launch from our new Cat launch site. While building the Orange 2, launching more Orange 1 second, and building the Cat launch site will be hard and expensive. We will have results. Of course, while we are still building and testing, we hope you do have a good time watching our progress. Alright, found the script. Discovery 1.0 has still in development, but has data. We are planning on releasing it soon. It is preformed well, and we are going to show it off later, probably in a video trailer. It is the most efficient engine, uses Floppa nuclear fuel, and is cheap, and made with a special Floppa carbon fiber. We have stress tested it, and it can survive re-entry with no heat shield coating applied. This will be integrated onto version 7 when released, and we will have it released soon, I promise. Also check out Floppa Studios who helped with Discovery 1.0, and back to Orange Cat. And that's the engine we are basing our engine off of. We expected this to be longer, but next week we'll have the Interstellar things, but we have been Orange Cat Aerospace. Let's hand it over to Meow One again for closing. But we hope you had a good FSDC. Hi, it's me again. This has been great. We have had some rocket announcements and updates, but this is only the first weekend. Next weekend will be entirely one other agency that has been recently formed. You will have to come back to see who. Of course, we can open up questions if anyone wants, but otherwise, I have been Meow One Floppa. Those to have been the Floppa Space Administration and Orange Cat Aerospace. And remember, FSDC weekend to soon. Bye. Okay, no questions I assume. Bye.